Hi. So I haven't filmed a video in a little while. I've been moving around slightly, so I just found this great spot to film, and this is Lincoln Park in Chicago, which is where I am now. So no more Singapore. I went home to Australia briefly, and now I'm here in the States. So very cool, very happy. I'm loving it so far. So I'm doing this video for my friend Jasmin, who has requested a warm-up before work, a little bit of core stuff, just to wake her up in the morning, get her energized for her day. So there is some stuff in here that's maybe will be a bit more advanced. I'll try and give some options. Just be aware of your body still though. If anything hurts in lower back, knees, any sort of joints, anything feels uncomfortable, just don't do it, or maybe take a lesser option, maybe go into a resting pose if you need to, like child's pose. So you're going to start laying down on your back. We're going to start with some spinal warm-ups. So just relax your head down, maybe roll your shoulders underneath, and just start to take some nice deep breaths. So first thing in the morning, you want to really start to energize your body with that breath. So nice deep inhale through the nose, and exhale out the mouth first. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. One more breath. And then just close your mouth and start to use your inhale and exhale through your nose. If this for any reason isn't comfortable for you and doesn't work though, just make sure you're breathing. Most important thing. So you're going to inhale now and rock your hips away from you. So find this space in your lower back, arch your lower back, and then push your back down into the ground. Inhale, arch your back. Exhale, push your lower back down into the ground. Just getting those hips and lower back moving. Inhale, arch your back. Exhale, push down into the ground. Inhale, arch your back. And then exhale, push down into the ground. Inhale, arch your back. And then this time as you push down into the ground, you're going to push your vertebrae down into the ground, spine back into the ground, push down through your heels, roll through your hips, so hips off the ground, back off the ground, push down through your heels a little bit more, and just breathe normally here. Push down through your heels, start to engage your glutes slightly. Now I don't want any sort of back bending here. We're not going for an intense back bend, just going into that neutral spine position, getting the back of your legs warmed up. Go one more inhale and then exhale, roll down nice and slowly. So try and control this on the way down, one vertebrae at a time. Inhale, rock your spine away from you. Exhale, push your lower back down into the ground, like you're imprinting your spine onto the mat, and then push your hips up. Breathe normally here just for 2 more breaths, and then roll down nice and slowly. So try and imprint your spine again down into the mat nice and slowly. Rock your hips away from you. One more time, push your lower back down into the mat. Roll up nice and slowly, one vertebrae at a time. So here, try and make sure that your knees are in line with your hips. So you may need to draw your knees together slightly. Push down through your heels, so you're trying to activate your hamstrings, the back of your legs, and your butt. And you shouldn't feel any pain in your lower back, so keeping that active. So come down slightly if you feel pain in your lower back. Maybe try and draw your belly in slightly. One more inhale, and then exhale, roll down nice and slowly. Lengthen your legs out long. Lengthen your arms out long over your head. Stretch tall. Nice big stretch. Point through your toes, point through your arms. It should feel really nice. And then relax. Bring your arms down to your side and just become aware of the space in your lower back. Flex your toes back up towards the sky or ceiling if you don't get the chance to practice outside. Flex your toes back up to the sky, and then just become aware of that space in your lower back. So this time you're not trying to push down into the ground and you're not trying to arch your back. It's just that neutral spine position. So your goal during these exercises is try and keep your spine in that neutral position. So you're going to do that by drawing that space in under your belly button to flat. So breathe into your belly, and then as you exhale, you're going to imagine drawing your hip bones together. So I want you to think about that, drawing in and up. So sometimes people like to think about it as zipping in and up or just flattening that space. So I'm going to give a few different cues, so find what works best for you. So you want to keep the front of your hips nice and relaxed, and then bring your hands back over your head and interlace your fingers back behind your head. Now I like to put my thumbs behind the back of my neck. I don't know if you can see. So thumbs down either side of your neck. So that helps me to be aware of whether I'm tensing my neck or not, rather than using my core muscles. Take a big inhale into your belly, and then as you exhale, think about flattening that space under your belly and lift your shoulders off the ground. Inhale, come down. Exhale, curl up, lift. So it's just like the spinal roll that we were just doing. This time you roll through the upper back, so upper back up off the ground. But instead of trying to pull my head forward, I'm trying to reach my chin up towards the sky. Inhale, come down. Exhale, lift. Find that breath into the belly, flatten that space under your lower belly. Now lower, exhale, lift. Now just hold here. Just make sure that your hips aren't tense. You're not trying to push your back into the ground. You're not trying to come up too high. Relax through the front of your legs, so in the front of your hips there. Inhale, lower. Keep your hips relaxed. Exhale, lift. So feel this, that you're not putting too much tension in your neck. Exhale, lift. Try and get those shoulder blades off. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. One more time. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift, and you're going to hold here this time. So again, you can look at your hips, keep your hips nice and relaxed, draw in through that lower belly. So just try and find that breath, drawing in and up. You're going to draw your left leg in and lift it up to a tabletop position, so your knee right above your hip. Take an inhale, then exhale, lift a little bit higher. Then you're going to twist towards the left. So trying to get your right shoulder off the ground. Inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, twist. So notice my legs not moving, my hips staying still. You're twisting just through the upper body. So getting the obliques warmed up, getting that twist in the back. Inhale, exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Keep your elbows nice and wide. Try not to pull them forward too much. Exhale, twist. Two more. Twist. One more, try and get that right shoulder all the way off, and you're going to hold here. So right shoulder blades off the ground, then you're going to stand your left leg out straight. Exhale, draw it back in, so knee above the hip. Inhale, long. Exhale, in. Keep trying to hold that twist through your belly. You may get a little bit of shaking. Exhale, draw it in. Try and keep your hips relaxed. Inhale, out. Draw through that lower belly. Think about flattening that space. Inhale, out. Exhale, in. One more time. Inhale, out. Exhale, draw your knee back into tabletop. Now lower your chest just slightly and then lift and twist. Just small little pulses for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. You can hear the shaking in my voice. 1. Come back to center. Slowly lower your head. Slowly lower your legs. Stretch your arms out. Maybe shake your legs. So shaking is not a bad thing. Don't think of it as a bad thing. Just think of it as they're concentrated on working on those muscles that you need to work. They're working nice and hard for you. Just make sure you breathe through it. So arms back behind your head again. Thumbs back behind your neck. Take an inhale, then exhale, lift that chest up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Ooh, so you should start to feel it a little bit in your belly. I definitely can. So it sometimes takes a bit of time to get this working the right areas. So really keeping your hips nice and relaxed. Try and think about that. So getting that connection, that flattening in your belly as you lift. So one more lift and hold here. Now draw your right leg in. Lift it up to a tabletop position. Good. Elbows wide. Take an inhale, exhale, lift, and then twist towards the right. Come back to center. Exhale and twist. I'm so squinty. Inhale back. Exhale, twist. Not real good and bright. Inhale back. Exhale, twist. Really try and get that left shoulder blade off. Inhale. Exhale, twist. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, twist and hold there. And then you're going to send your right leg out. Draw it back in. You should really feel this in your obliques. Inhale out. Exhale in, keep your left leg relaxed. Inhale out. Exhale in, your knee just comes above your hip. You don't have to bring it in more. Inhale out. Exhale right above the hip. Last one, inhale out. Exhale, draw it in, and then small little pulses, so drop slightly and then twist a little bit more. So really try and get that little bit more twist for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come back to center. Woo! Reach your arms out long, reach your legs out long. Stretch, and then draw your knees into your chest, hug your knees in and rock side to side. Get a little massage on that lower back. And then you're going to rock forward and back. Come up to a seated position. Roll over onto your stomach, onto your front, onto all fours. You're going to bring your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. Another big spinal warm up here. Draw your chest forward, look up towards the sky, let your belly hang down towards the ground. Then exhale, tuck your chin in towards your chest. Look down towards your belly, round through your spine. Inhale, bring your chest forward. So imagine drawing your palms towards you, push your chest up. And then exhale down, push down through your palms. Draw in through your belly. Should be awake by now. And then inhale, come down and through. Chest forward, so try and draw your shoulder blades back and down, head up. Exhale, come down. Look down in between your knees. Really try and round through that upper back. Inhale, come up. Look up towards the sky. And then exhale, come back to a neutral spine position. So in between, so imagine that same position as when you were laying flat down on your back in this lower back. So that same thing, this time you're working against gravity to draw that lower belly up and away from the ground. You're going to spread your fingers nice and wide. You're going to tuck your toes under. Draw your shoulders away from your ears, so strong in those arms. Take an inhale, and then exhale, float your knees just an inch off the ground. Oh, my knees stuck to my mat. Knees just an inch off the ground. It's hot here. So draw your lower belly away from the ground, that same thing. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. Breathe into that lower belly. One more breath here. And then drop your knees back down to the ground. Push back into child's pose just for a second. So heels, hips onto your heels. Good. And then come back up. So if you're getting any pain in your wrist, try and push a little bit more through your thumb and your forefinger. See if that helps. And also maybe think about your alignment. Are your hands directly under your shoulders? Tuck your toes under. Take an inhale. And then exhale, float your knees. So again, draw your belly away from the ground. This time imagine pulling your elbows towards your knees. So it's like I'm trying to do this, but we're not going to move. So it's an isometric contraction. So drawing in your belly. And keeping your knees floated, you're going to step your right leg back to a plank position. Step your left leg back to a plank position. So you're already nice and strong in your core. Now you're going to bend your knees slightly, push your hips up, come into a downward dog. Inhale, come forward. So shoulders over wrists again. Then step your right leg in to that tabletop position. Knees still above the ground. Left leg in, float. And then left leg out. Right leg out. Bend your knees slightly, push your hips up and back, downward dog. Inhale, come forward. So shoulders over your wrists. Step right leg in, so float. Left leg in. Your knees are floating off the ground just 1 inch, belly tight. Then whichever leg you can do, right leg out, left leg out. Bend your knees slightly, hips up. So try and keep your knees bent. Really try and push your tailbone up to the sky. Inhale, come forward to plank. Left leg in, right leg in. One more side. Try and keep that drawing in your lower belly. Belly away from the ground, shoulders away from your ears. Left leg out, right leg out. Stay strong here. Then draw through your hips, push your hips up towards the sky, downward dog. Inhale, come forward, right leg in, left leg in, float. Draw your wrists towards your knees and your knees towards your wrists. Breathe into your belly here, getting a little bit of shaking. And then drop your knees down to the ground, flatten your feet, push back to child's pose. Maybe if it feels good, rotate your wrists around a little bit. And then come forward. You're gonna lay down on one side. You can either have your head flat, maybe if you want to put a pillow there, or put your hand up. Support your head in your hands, is what I mean to say. Bring your knees forward towards the front of the mat. And then I want you to try and stack your hips one on top of another. So what I mean is, if your hips hiking up like this, pull that top hip away from you so your waist is nice and long on both sides. So heels are going to stay together first, and then you're going to just lift that top knee up. So you should start to feel in the side of your hip here. Now, a few things you can do if you don't feel it in the side of your hip is maybe push that front hip forward a little bit. Put your hand on your hip so you can feel, so this top hip doesn't move. So your hips stay stacked right on top of one another. Maybe go up just a little bit higher. Try and relax the lower part of your leg from your knee down. And then maybe try and push your bum back a little bit more. So the hip forward, but then imagine like you're sticking your booty out, and you may feel a little bit more in the side of your hip here. This is where we want to start to feel it working. Just do 2 more like that. And then lift your knee up and hold your knee there. Lift your heel up this time too, so your heel stays nice and heavy, nice and loose. And then drop your knee down towards the other knee, and then lift. So the lower leg stays nice and loose, moving straight up and down, so to the side. So you're lifting your leg to the side. So you should feel it in the side of your butt here. Don't worry if you don't. It takes a little bit of time. Just keep trying to work with it. Maybe keep adjusting the position, drawing in your lower belly. Try and keep those hips stacked on top of one another. And just do 3 more. 3, 2, 1. Now if you've got it, you should still feel some good burning there. And you're going to hold it like that. You're just going to do little pulses, so slightly lower and lift. Just 7, 6, 5. Keep drawing in your belly. Keep breathing. 3, 2, 1. Your knee there. Now you're going to tap your knee down towards the other knee. Lift your heel up towards the sky. Then you're going to rotate and tap your heels together. Good. Knees together, heels together. So internally, externally rotating your hip in the hip socket. It's a very isolated movement, and that's why you might feel it. Oh, look, I have sunglasses. Maybe that will help me stop being so squinty. Tap your knees, and then tap your heel. Tap your knees, tap your heels. One more time, tap your knee, and then tap your heel, and then you're going to tap your knees, heel up towards the sky, push your heel back and up. So tap your knee, push your heel up, tap your knee, push your heel up, tap your knee, try and straighten. You should still feel this in your butt. Tap your knee, straighten, push your heel up, and then straighten your leg out, so in line with your hip. Small little pulses here. You should still feel it working hard in your hip. Draw your belly in. Try and stay with it. Lift your heel up towards the sky. Small little pulses here. Good. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Keep pushing out through your heel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now point your toe. Keep your leg lifted. Just one little bit more. Circle forward. And then pause, circle the other direction. Nice, long, strong leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then relax that leg down. Maybe tap the side of your butt. This seems to be what everyone does in my classes after we do it. Seems to feel good. Now you're going to straighten out the bottom leg this time. Bend the top leg. So if it's uncomfortable to have your leg forward, maybe you can place a block or a book or a pillow or something under your knee. So you can keep your hips still stacked one on top of the other. Your bottom leg is going to be nice and long this time. You're going to flex your bottom toes towards you, so toes back towards your knee. And then you're going to lift slightly that bottom leg and lower. Lift and lower. Now I want you to place your hand on your hip. Keep lifting and lowering your leg, so above your hip here. And see if you can feel your obliques working, so those muscles in the side of your abs. See if you can feel those working a little bit in there. Good. So as you lift, you should feel tension here in the side of your body. And then you're going to lift and hold there. Now make some little pulses. Lift and lower. Small little pulses. Small little movements for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Ooh, you can feel it burning in your inner thigh. 3, 2, 1. Hold. Point your toe really long in the leg. Small little circles. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The other direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now hold your leg there. Don't move it. You're going to take the top leg and you're going to place it really gracefully onto the bottom one. Now, different options. You can put your hand in front of you if you need to, or you can bring it here. Keep those legs lifted. So a little bit harder to the hip, or if you want it even harder, you can bring your arm up towards the sky. Lower your legs slightly and then lift. So if you start to lose your balance, bring your hand down, maybe bring it to your hip. Now you should still feel in here working. You're going to go for 6. Keep squeezing those legs together. Point your toes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. And then slowly lower back down to the ground. Whew. You should really feel your inner thigh, outer thigh working. And we're going to roll over and do the other side. Now you know exactly what we're doing. Forget what we just did. And welcome to the opposite side. What exercises did we do? Okay, hand on the top hip, hips on top of one another. So pull that top hip down so your hips are even, shoulders back, and then lift that top leg up. Again, if you don't feel it in the side of your hip here straight away, you're going to push your hip forward a little so they're on top of one another. Maybe then think about sinking your butt back. I know that seems kind of weird, but because it's like sort of telling you to do two of the opposite things. Hip forward and then slightly sticking your tailbone back and down. So try and get a little bit of hold at the top. So where you can feel that uncomfortable squeeze, that's where you want to sort of hold it. Try and draw your belly in. Not ever forcefully drawing your belly in, but just enough to keep a little bit of a contraction there. It'll help you also keep your hips stable. And just one more, lift your knee up. Lift your heel up. And you're going to slowly lower knee and heel. Relax your foot, slowly lower, and then lift. Slowly lower. Think about lifting from the side of your hip and lift. Lower and lift. So your leg lifts together, so your knee and your hip moving, and lift. Lower and lift. So nice and slow. There's all these people keep watching me in the park. This is what happens. This is what happens when you do stuff in public. Yeah, this is an awkward thing to do in the park. No wonder people are like, what is she doing? One more, lift up and hold there. Turn your knee down towards your other knee, heel up towards the sky, tap your knees, and then turn around, tap your heels. Tap your knees, and then turn around, tap your heels. So again, still try not to move your hip too much. You want to more get the internal and external rotation happening within the socket. It will move a little bit though. So keeping a little bit of engagement in your core. Tap and tap. 2 more. And tap. 1 more. Tap your heels. Now you should really start to feel it in your butt here. So knee down to other knee, heel flex, then push your heel out. Good. Tap your knee. It's a really kind of awkward movement, but you should feel it a lot in your butt. So internal rotation and then extension. Tap and then extend. Tap and extend. Let's go 1 more because I forgot to count. Good. And then bring your heel down so it's even with your hip. Long, long leg. Push out through the bottom of your heel. Slowly lower and lift. Lower and lift. Again, here you don't want to be losing everything here. You want to stay long both sides of your waist. Small little movements. Let's go again. 10, 9, 8, 7, 5, 4. Ooh, you should really feel it burning. Keep pushing out through here. And then point your toe, small little circles for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Well, mine don't look like circles at the moment. It's burning. And then the other way, try and draw as neat circles as you can. 3, 2, 1, and relax down. Maybe shake your leg out and then bring it straight forward. Place your knee on the ground or on a pillow. Lengthen your bottom leg out long. Flex your bottom toes back towards your knee. Then you're going to push through your heel, so really long in that bottom leg. Lift your bottom leg up. Lift it up and then down. So think about that nice long line on the inside of your leg. Heel up and down. So small movements, try and think about length in that leg. I've got sand in my ears. So point your toe now. So small little pulses first, just at the top of the movement there. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now point your toe. We're going to draw circles forward for 6. So I did a yoga class on the beach this morning, beach by Lake Michigan here in Chicago. So that's why I think I have sand in my ears. Go the other direction if you haven't already. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then hold your leg there. So you can stabilize with your hand if you need to, or nice and gracefully bring your feet, what are these things called? Feet on top of one another, hand on your top hip, slowly lower and then lift both legs. So keep trying to make them long legs, lower and lift, lower and lift, lower and lift. You can make it a little bit harder, bring your arm up. You got 3, squeeze your legs together, 2, last one, lift, and then slowly lower. I hope you're breathing in that last one. Roll over onto your stomach. Bring your hands down beside your lower ribs. Roll your shoulders back. Reach your chest forward and lift. And then exhale, come down. Roll your shoulders back. Reach your chest forward, lift. So no pain in your lower back here. When you're trying to engage through shoulder blades, squeeze your shoulder blades back together. Squeeze your elbows tight into your side. Lift. And then lower. One more time like that, really engaging your shoulders. So shoulders back, elbows in close to your side. Lift your chest. And then just try and float your fingertips off the ground. So you're really using that upper back. Your lower back's nice and relaxed. Your legs are nice and relaxed. Lower back down. So awakening up that space in between your shoulder blades. One more time. Chest forward. Elbows in close to your side. Lift. And then slowly lower. Bend your knees. Push back through your hands and knees. And come back to child's pose. Relax your head down. Take 2 breaths here into your lower back. Try and sink your hips back towards your heels. Walk your fingertips forward just a little bit more to try and sink your shoulder blades, your armpits down to the ground, rather. And then slowly walk your hands back towards your knees. And you're done. Jasmin, you can go to work. I know you probably loved all those exercises, probably all your favorites, which is not really favorites. The things that are usually the hardest is the things that we maybe need to do more, and with Pilates based stuff, doing everything nice and slow and controlled is always going to make it harder. So take the time to become aware of where you're feeling things and where you want to feel things in your body. Take it a little bit slow if you need to, and always remember to breathe. Have a great day, as I will here, enjoying the sunshine in Chicago. Thank you. Bye.